Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Dr. Helen, your host of the Accelerated Healing Detox Bootcamp. I am also the host of the Faith Building Bootcamp. We are building health one day at a time, and we're building faith one day at a time. I am not sure if you're joining us for our day 16 for the very first time. So, if this is your day one, or if this is your day two, or if this is your day 16, but wherever you're coming from, if it's day one, welcome. If it's day two, welcome back. And if it's day 16, look at you because you're still here. Man, this is day 16. Can you believe it? Day 16. We are now getting ready to chew. I know some of you probably have already started chewing. I know that Amanda already told me that she has already gotten her bowl and she's already consumed it. I haven't done mine yet. I have been sitting here looking out the window trying to see if the sun will melt the ice on the ground. It is so a sheet of just ice on our street. The driveway is just iced over. So apparently we are not going anywhere in the city of Alabama, in the city that we're in Alabama. So guys, enjoy your time. If you're here, enjoy your time at home. Enjoy the relaxation and the blessing of just kind of hanging out. Now, I have something that I want you to hear. My favorite artist. I want you to check out just a little clip of his music. Here we go.
Weight of love on my shoulders. I thought that it would be easier than this. Thought my heart had grown cold, but the warmth of your kiss I can't dismiss. Though my past has left me bruised.
Yes, that's called holding on, y'all. And I think that that's what we're doing today. Like we are holding on. I want to know if you have been holding on for the last 15 days and you didn't cheat one time. If you have been holding on and you didn't cheat, I want you to put it in the chat. I have this that I would like to give to somebody who has just been holding on. This is a body scrub, and it is a detox body scrub. It is made with charcoal, and it is one of the products that we carry. And I would like to give it away to somebody or somebody's who was holding on without cheating. If you were holding on without cheating, please let me know, and I will make sure you get a complimentary. How many ounces is this? 6 ounces, 8 ounces of our detox body scrub. Hold it on, y'all. Hold it on. Hold it on. So we are detoxing. We are detoxing. Yes, we are continuing to detox even though we're chewing today. All righty. So let's just go with some of our announcements. This is day 16. Want to make sure you are getting in the bed by 10 p.m. Keep practicing your exercises. Graduate. You should have graduated into some squats by now. And we started off with 5, and let's try to continue and add another 5 onto our squats. So we're doing 10 squats at a time. Watch how your backside kind of pops up in the back from doing these squats, and your lower body strength just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So we are chewing, y'all. Check out the menu today. I can personally vouch for its deliciousness. Let's see, as we allow food to be our medicine, we are allowing food to be our medicine. Let me show you what our food is. Look at all that. Food is our medicine, y'all. Food is the medicine. So let me show you what we're eating today. Here we have our mango, our green mango bowl, with fresh blueberries. I got some fresh strawberries on there. Look, somebody said they cheated every day. Have mercy. That's all right. Listen, it's okay. Just these are fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries. Then this is granola. You have a recipe for homemade granola. So we're going to be using oats, and we're talking about oats today. So we are doing that. I'm on day 11 and didn't cheat on the juices. Yay! Look at that. Awesome. So this is our breakfast meal today. Let's show you what lunch looks like today. We have the all-in salad that has some really good stuff in there. There are garbanzo beans and raw almonds and red cabbage and mixed greens and kale and all kinds of good stuff in there. And we have a homemade salad dressing that we're using. It's called the pimento salad dressing. The recipe is in there. If you don't have pimento seeds, it's quite all right. Then just use everything else and you just don't have the pimento seeds, but you still have the salad dressing. You can also use just fresh lemon, and you can use balsamic. So those are options. This salad dressing is delicious. I just might add. I have not purchased salad dressings for more than 10 years. I make all of them because when you realize how easy they are to make, like I make my salad dressings in less than 5 minutes. And so when you realize how easy salad dressings are to make, then you can avoid the high fructose corn syrup and the excess oils and fat and all the chemical additives that are in there, because you are making it at home, fresh, deliciously, and it tastes so much better. Let's look at what our soup is served with. Some fresh tomato basil soup. And to give it like a little added redness, I don't know if I put it on the recipe or not, but for the added redness, I like to put in a little smoked paprika, and it just deepens the color of the soup. So a little smoked paprika will make it nice and red. It's so good. Tomato basil soup. And a snack, we've added a snack today too. This is our kale chips, and it's got smoked paprika and garlic and onion and little, oh, it's just so savory. Like every year when I do this and I start introducing these kale chips, people who are not vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, they're like, can I taste one? So I give them one. They're like, oh, that's good. And they want to eat more of them. And I'm like, but this is all that I'm eating. So let's just chill out because I need these myself. But they are so delicious. I know that you will enjoy them. The way that I make them is in my dehydrator, but I've also given you instructions to make it in the oven as well, so that you will still be able to enjoy its deliciousness even if you don't have a dehydrator. If you have a dehydrator, it's all the more easy. So I just pack each one of my trays, like all the trays are full of my kale, and I get to eat those chips whenever I want to snack throughout the day. And guess what? I'm still detoxing, y'all. Still detoxing. So we're detoxing and we're chewing at the same time. Amen, y'all. Somebody. I'm so ready to eat. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to eat. If you're ready to eat, just type it in the chat. I'm ready to chew. I'm ready to chew. I am going to take on our disclaimer this morning. I am a board certified physician. I was one of the foolish ones. Well, when I look back, I wasn't so foolish, but during the time I was crazy because I did 2 residencies at the same time, one in internal medicine, one in physical medicine and rehabilitation at Johns Hopkins and Sinai Hospital in Baltimore. Yay. And then I did my fellowship in non-surgical orthopedics and sports medicine, and then my additional training in interventional pain procedures. And so all of that comes together into 28 years of experience of practicing medicine, so that I can tell you from both sides of the coin what we are talking about when we're talking about lifestyle medicine and what we're talking about traditional medicine, because I did my own separate training in lifestyle medicine. And so I am board certified as a physician, but I am not your physician. So make sure that you are in conversation with your doctor, because I cannot give you information that is not only educational. That's all this is. It's educational information for educational purposes only. And so this does not constitute a doctor-patient relationship. It does constitute an educator-student relationship. So thank you for that little note. And we're going to continue on with Hidden Figures. And today we're going to be continuing to talk about things that damage your health. And we were on the subject of pesticides. And as we were talking about pesticides, we already saw some of the things that we've learned. We learned what are the pesticides and why they're used and how they affect our health. We started talking about GMOs yesterday, and so we're going to continue with GMOs, with not just only the glyphosate that is on them, as well as the genetic modifications of them. So we are talking not only about those two things, but we are going to show you how to look for something called the non-GMO project. The non-GMO project. We are going to look for non-GMO verified. And so when you look at your products, you're going to look at your oats. When you purchase your oats, you're looking for the non-GMO project. It is verified. Yes, verified. Now, let's talk about these things, these oats. Many companies, they have to be very specific. And when I look at my granola bars, like I liked to buy granola bars for our kids when they were growing up. And so I would buy them the granola bars, and I was always looking for the label that said non-GMO certified. And I wanted them to be organic oats too. And I realized during that time that there were some companies who were saying that these were 100% natural, that these granola bars were made from 100% natural sources. But General Mills had to drop that name. Actually, they couldn't say that it was 100% natural because there were traces of glyphosate found in the oats. And so I have listed some of the foods that have no detectable levels of glyphosate in them. And these are some of the brands. These are glyphosate-free oats. Nature's Path are glyphosate-free. And you can see they're also organic. They have the non-GMO verified project on them. And then we look at the instant oatmeal from Simple Truth. Simple Truth have organically grown oats. They are glyphosate free. So you can look for these as well. This is a brand that I think you find in Kroger. I think it's a Kroger brand. Then there is Heart to Heart, which is by Kashi. Heart to Heart honey toasted oat cereal is glyphosate free oats. Glyphosate free oats. We already know how bad that glyphosate is to our health. So we are trying to avoid it at all costs because we know how these things can sneak up on you when you least expect it and then beat you down with disease because these small amounts of toxins have just gone and growing and growing and growing. Then you develop chronic inflammatory illnesses and chronic conditions that include cancer. And so we're trying to fight those things. We're fighting those things. Now, here is Cascadian Farms. Cascadian Farms has Harvest Berry oats. These are the ones that I used to buy for the girls when they were growing up. These are certified Harvest Berry oats, and they're chewy granola bars. I can vouch for them that they are really good. All the ones except for the Simple Truth oatmeal have I tried because I like to buy straight oats, which is what I'm showing you next. I like to buy the oats that are just like large ones, and sometimes you can get them in bulk, and that's typically the way I purchased my oats. And so some of those stores that have the bulk section will have these oats. They also have them as the 365 brand. This is a Whole Foods brand of oats. They're old-fashioned oats. They are glyphosate free. You see the non-GMO verified project on there, and you see that they are organic as well. They are glyphosate free. And I was actually a little bit disappointed about the next one. The Bob's Red Mill actually was disappointing for me because our environmental work group actually tested four of their oats, and they found that only one out of the four samples didn't have any detectable levels of glyphosate. And one out of the four of them had 10 parts per billion. I know it's a small amount, but another one had two out of four of the samples had 20 parts per billion. And again, it's a small amount, but these should be glyphosate free. The marketers of Bob's Red Mill said that the companies that they work with use non-GMO and glyphosate free oats, but they're thinking that maybe somehow it got sprayed, it got treated somehow, and they didn't, it apparently missed their quality control procedures, apparently, because they had detectable amounts of glyphosate in them. So I was really disappointed about this because I liked Bob's Red Mill. So I decided that their quality control measures have to be have to be up. They have to up their game a little bit so that they can do it. So I am always looking for 100% organic because I want it to be natural, where there is no harm to nature. I want it environmentally friendly. So I look for this label on many of the products where it says 100% organic. Can we get that slide up, please? 100% organic. And I am looking also for the glyphosate residue free label. This is from that project that we talked about, the glyphosate free detox project. And so we're looking for companies that use this certified label. That there are so many granola options, and I want to just go through those. There are many that are available in different parts of the country, and so we're going to go and show you some of them. This one is called Backroads, and it's one of the only companies in the U.S. selling organic oat products that are so certified glyphosate free. And so many companies people will purchase from this company. The first granola company, this is the first granola company that actually achieved the Detox Project residue free, glyphosate residue free label. So they actually sell this to customers. They want to sell them directly to customers. You'll see this one in more like New York and New Jersey and the New England states in their Whole Foods, but it's not in other Whole Foods, unfortunately. So it's more up in the New England, that northeastern corridor of places to purchase. So if you're in New York, New Jersey, or in the New England states, this is a good organic glyphosate free oat that you can purchase. We can also purchase these things online, so we can certainly use that. Here is one called 7 Sundays. 7 Sundays has protein oats, which really is a blend of oats and almond flakes and chia seeds and oat pulp. So they are certified organic. They are the Detox Project glyphosate free residue glyphosate residue free. They have that certification. At present, they only have one organic product, but they're working with farmers and trying to transition to organic farming altogether. So their plan is to offer more organic products, but right now this is the only one. All of the oats are glyphosate free. They don't use it for pre-harvest desiccant, where they try to dry out the oat before they harvest them. They don't use the glyphosate for that. And they do undergo third-party testing, and they share their results on the website. So this one is one that I am confident in using, and they are available nationwide in Whole Foods. The next one is called Healthy Traditions. Healthy Traditions rolled oats, another Detox Project glyphosate residue free certified product. They are imported from Italy, and they're traditionally grown on just one farm using organic practices, no chemical pesticides. There are no herbicides. They're not they are not readily available to in every place. I haven't seen them in our local store yet, but they are processed in a small family-run mill in Texas. So I know that you're able to get them from Texas because that's where they make them. But they do test to make sure that they are using non-GMO and that they are glyphosate free. And so this would be a great one if you're in that area. They maintain a zero tolerance policy against glyphosate. Like, no, we are not doing it. No glyphosate. So they are very diligent in their testing to make sure that they do not have any glyphosate in their oats. Only Oats is one made of 100% pure Canadian oats, and they are free of allergens and they're free of any additives at all. It's a very high quality one and a gluten free. I didn't find where these were located, but I would look for this one, Only Oats. The next one is called the Almond Cow. And this is a bulk supplier of organic oats and organic coconut shreds. They're bee friendly almonds that they use. They have organic cashews, and they also make milk. They also make plant based milks as well. So this is called Almond Cow. You can look for them. They come in groat form, which are the whole grain oats that are completely unprocessed. So they work really well for making oat milk. And y'all got to try just making some plant-based milk. It's like the easiest thing to do. My daughter made some at 18. She said, "Mom, I just made some almond milk." And I was like, "Wow, how did you do it?" And she like just, I mean, it's so easy. Just it's the easiest thing. You can save so much money by just making your own, getting some raw almonds, and you just take the raw almonds and you put it in with some water, a bit of salt. You can put a slight sweetener in. I put probably maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon of maple syrup for like 8 cups of it. And I might use like a cup of almonds or even 2 cups of almonds, depending on how thick you want it to be, and then put like the rest of it, 6 to 8 cups of water in there. Put it in with a pinch of salt. If you want to make it vanilla flavored, you can put a little bit of vanilla in it and a little bit of maple syrup in there and just mix it up. And then you just strain it. I use a cheesecloth. They have milk bags as well that you can use to strain it and just make your milk and then refrigerate it. And it's interesting. My sister makes some too, and her husband, he doesn't want to have anything that's homemade. So she took the same container that they buy the milk in and put it in there. He was none the wiser, and he drank it just like it was regular milk. It was store-bought milk, because let me say it's not, regular milk. I don't know. Some people have this thing in their head that they want it to come from a grocery store so that it can be processed for some reason. But you got to know that the less processing that somebody else does, the better your food is for you. You're getting it fresher and you're getting it tastier, and you know what's going in it. You don't have to put any of those chemical stabilizers that keep it on the shelf longer. You just drink it at home. And so that milk will probably last about 3 to 5 days, and you can use it in the refrigerator. After that, you want to make some fresh milk. But suffice it to say, this is a company that I use for their oats to make the oat milk. And it's the same, it's generally the same process. Now, there are only 2 certified glyphosate residual free trail mixes. For this product. This one is called Picky Bars. There's only 2 of their products that are glyphosate residue free, and it is the Trail Mix Fix Oatmeal. And then they also have something called How About Them Apples. How about them apples right there? That's the oatmeal. It's a performance oatmeal. Well, they call it a performance oatmeal. And it's made with organic coconut sugar, organic dates, organic dried apples, organic ginger, organic rolled oats, and then just a little bit of sea salt. So this one is one of those ready-made oatmeals for some of the people who are just like, I don't want to do all the stuff to make my oatmeal. Or you can even use it to make some oatmeal muffins. You can use it, to really get creative in the things that you want to make. You can make an oat bread, all kinds of things. And you can use this because it's already got the ingredients in it that's already sweetened. It's already got deliciousness going on. in it, and you can just add that to whatever product that you want to make, or you can just make your regular breakfast oatmeal and it's already got the flavor already in it. So that's a good one. There's another one called by a company called Red Tractor Foods, and it's not certified gluten free, but it is grown and processed in facilities free of gluten contamination. They just haven't gotten the certification of it. So it is gluten free. This one is sourced from Australia and Canada. And this is one that you can find in some discount stores like TJ Maxx or Marshalls and Home Goods. Now, the one that I purchased from Costco is this one, because I like to buy my food in bulk, so I buy like these huge bags. This one's glyphosate free, it's gluten free, and they're organic rolled oats. And because I like to buy lots of food at the time, because that's just, I got a problem. This is glyphosate free oats, and they're just the oats. Now, when I'm traveling sometimes and I want to have some oatmeal, I found this one. It's called Mush, and it's not organic, but they exclusively use the Detox Project certified glyphosate free residue certification. They have that certification, and they are committed to using all natural ingredients, no artificial flavors or preservatives, and it's kind of a ready to go food. Now I'm not one that really likes my oatmeal mushy, but I gotta admit that this one is more like a porridge kind of. But I have to admit, I was pleasantly surprised when I ate it, because when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I don't like my oatmeal like this. I like my oatmeal to be more firm, because I look at it as fiber. And so I want it to be more firm. But this one they call it mush for a reason. It is more of a porridge. And it is found in conventional grocery stores. I've gotten it from Publix. I've gotten it from Target. I've gotten it just from regular grocery stores. So this was something that I was able to find in the grocery stores. So that being said, I want to just talk about some of the top GMO foods as we're looking for the non-GMO project. These are some of the foods that are the top GMO foods, and I admonish you to avoid them. So we are looking at cotton. It's GMO, lots in the 90 percentile of GMO. That canola oil, all the way up there in 90 something percentile canola oil. Soy, I think it's about 96% GMO. Corn, I believe, is about 94%, 92%, something like that. Zucchini. And then on the next slide, you'll see these pictures a little bit better. The sugar beets, where they're using the sugar in some of your processed foods. They're using this sugar, which is GMO. Papayas are GMO. I'm like, come on, y'all, can we just leave the food alone? It's GMO. The dairy milk, they are GMOs. Aspartame. Now, aspartame is not the only reason. The aspartame being GMO is not the only reason that I don't use aspartame. And you'll find aspartame in your juices, some of the juices. If they say sugar-free, look for aspartame or sucralose, or which is another name for Splenda. Look for if it's sugar-free, leave it alone. Just leave it alone, because it's going to use these artificial sugars, aspartame being a GMO, but it also is something that actually causes your blood sugar, your insulin levels to go up. Even though it doesn't allow your blood sugar levels to go up, your insulin levels will go up, because your body is like, oh, sugar is coming, so I'm ready to secrete this insulin, but it's not coming, so I'm not going to let your blood glucose levels go up. But what it does with an elevated insulin, it can lead to insulin resistance, which is where obesity comes from, which is where type 2 diabetes comes from. So we're just trying to avoid those things. So I don't recommend using any sugar substitutes. None of them are used. So if you're at a table where you're at a restaurant and you want to sweeten something, and there's a blue packet, a pink packet, a white packet, and a brown packet, I would, and there was no honey or maple syrup. Maple syrup is my preferred sweetener. I will use maple syrup and honey. I also use coconut sugar, but you'll never see a restaurant with coconut sugar in it unless you go to an all natural restaurant. But the if they have those packets on there, definitely do not use the pink. Don't use the blue. Don't use the yellow. I would rather use the white over any of those, but I would use the brown, or I would just not use any. So I don't like using the white packets either, because I know that most of them are made from sugar beets, and those are GMO. So I like to avoid those. I will ask the restaurateur, do you have any honey? And y'all, don't be afraid to ask for what you want. You go to a restaurant, if they don't have it on the table, ask them, do you have honey? And if they have honey, they will bring it out. You can ask them, do you have pure maple syrup, not like Mrs. Butterworth's or some other one that's made of high fructose corn syrup. We're not using those with high fructose corn syrup in it. That is not real maple syrup, and that will cause insulin resistance and decrease insulin sensitivity. So we want to avoid high fructose corn syrup. That's just a side note. But canola oil, again, we're talking about that canola oil. And then yellow squash. So those are companies that sell GMO yellow squash. So again, you're looking for the non-GMO label on there. Now, I wanted to just throw this slide in there so that you can, when you're going in the store and looking for your produce, you know what, by looking at the SKU, the code that's on that piece of fruit or vegetable, you know where it's coming from. Okay. You'll know whether it's conventionally grown, which means that it would be made GMO products, and it may be products that are sprayed very heavily with pesticides. So when you look at when you see the label and it's a 4-digit code and it starts with a 3 or a 4, you know it's conventionally grown. You know that it has pesticides on it, and you know that it's possibly GMO or a hybrid, which we'll talk about too. You know that that is the case. When it is organically labeled, you're looking for a 5-digit code. You're looking for a 5-digit code. That code will begin with the number 9. So you're looking for the organic product. So, sometimes you might go in the store, and especially at a time like when we just had, where a snowstorm, people are prepared and they go and buy everything out of the store. And then maybe things are moved from places that they were, and you pick up a broccoli stalk and it has a code with a 4 on it. You know that even though it was in the organic section, it's not organic because the code starts with a 4. You want your code to start with a 9 so that you know that it is organic, is an organic food. Okay. Now, when you look for a 5-digit code, when you see a 5-digit code and it has the number 8 as the beginning number, the number 8 on a 5-digit code, that is genetically modified. And so most of the things have to be labeled. There's a couple of things that they don't have to label in the US, but this will get you started, because I feel that that if you are at least 80% where it's a natural food, you got stuff to fight. I have not seen any research on GMO foods, or even the especially GMO foods, that show that there's any damage to your health. But I do not believe that food should be made in a lab. It should be made in the ground. And so many times research is not there because it hasn't been done, not because it's not safe. Does that make sense? Research lags behind the product. So it may be years before we see information talking about the dangers of GMO. Okay. It might be years. So right now, I like to avoid GMOs as much as possible. So I purchase non-GMO, and I purchase organic when it's necessary to purchase organically. And I eliminate processed foods. I tend to cook myself. And many people say, well, why am I? It's that this that takes too much time. It takes too much time to cook for yourself and all that kind of stuff. I get it. I get it. But I have prioritized myself and my family and our health. And so I spend the time in the kitchen. I have many ways of cutting down the amount of time that I spend in the kitchen, but I'm in the kitchen cooking because I am prioritizing my health. And I know that you are too because you're here. So, wow, here is a company that you might benefit from if you want to trust the products that they purchase. Their products are non-GMO. This is their promise, non-GMO, mostly organic products. 500 plus never ingredients, and they will deliver it to your home. And so I'm heading to that website. I'm heading to that website on a regular basis if I am not able to go to the store and I don't want to, or I don't have time to go to the store. I can order directly from Thrive Market and have the food delivered. They are like a subscription plan, and so you pay a subscription fee, and you can shop in their stores and purchase their products. But I trust this company just because of their policies and how they are interested in using foods that are more healthful for people, because there are companies out there that do care and that put it up. So what you should have known by the end of this is that this is that what are pesticides and how they're used and how it affects your health. You should also know how to find GMO products, organic products, how to avoid them, how to look for them, how to look at the labels and see what is organic, what is conventional, and what is GMO. We are going to continue tomorrow talking about the hybridization of food and what these foods are and how they're hybridized and what that means for us and which foods are hybridized. And so we are going to look for that tomorrow. I am going to entertain questions now. Are there any questions? Make sure you put a Q and a colon in the chat box, a Q and a colon if you have questions about anything that we talked about. Q and a colon. All right. Let's see. I am not seeing any questions. That is a question. Why does foil turn colors when cooking? Missed that. Oh, yes. We talked about that on day when we talked about the aluminum. I will put that link in the description box below where we talked about aluminum. So I'll put that in the description box below. I'll actually link it up so that you can actually get the whole explanation. But it's oxidized, and that's a problem for it. It's oxidized. All right. Sad to say, found out I cannot eat kale. It makes me sick to my stomach. Can it be substituted with spinach? Yes, you can. I'm curious. Did you buy that kale organically? I'm curious. There are some people that may have allergies to different foods. And I find a lot of times it's because of the pesticide and not really the food, because kale is a food that is sprayed very heavily with pesticides. I would be surprised if it was kale itself and not the pesticides. So I purchased my kale organically. Somebody says, I've never been exposed to this eating lifestyle. I've cooked in heavy restaurants. Rich foods. How do I start and afford to change my eating and health habits to clean myself up? This is tough. I feel you. And I've said before that when I found out what was going on with our food supply, when I found out what was going on with our food supply, I literally cried because I was like, well, what are we supposed to eat? What are we supposed to eat? And that's what put me on the road to looking at the different ways to eat more healthfully. And so there are places that you can go to. Walmart carries some of the organic products, and I would look for them, and I would still look for those numbers, just like we're looking for. I would look for the letters 8 to know that those are GMO foods, and I would look for the 9s to know that they're organic, and I would look at the ones that begin with the 4 And then I would use your produce guides that you got when you signed up for this program. You got 2 produce guides. I will use that produce guide to let you know if you should purchase that item organically or if it's okay to buy it conventionally. I would use your product guide. And in the beginning, it'll seem a little bit difficult, but as you continue on, it gets easier and easier and easier. I would also suggest learning how to cook. If you've worked in restaurants, looks like you've been cooking in restaurants, so you know how to cook. Make sure you start using some of these ingredients in your foods, and start building up on these things and add more of the plants into your lifestyle, because we know that plants are where life is. It is where you can reproduce and grow, so you know that it will help to grow in your body. So, nope, didn't purchase it organically. She's talking about the kale. She didn't purchase that kale organically, and it possibly is the problem. The only other problem that I find is when people have what we'll talk about in a subsequent lecture is called leaky gut. You probably have heard that term. I think we mentioned it a little bit when we talked about our inflammation, and I'll link that video right below this one today. When we talked about inflammation, we talked about the fact that it may cause an increase in what's called intestinal permeability of your gut lining and allow foods that are unprocessed to go into the bloodstream. And those people can tend to have a lot of allergies because the food is going through unprocessed. It's before your body can take out the bad things. And so you're getting all the bad things, and it'll cause this inflammatory condition that can lead to different disease processes like the diabetes and high blood pressure and obesity and all of these different disease processes, and even some forms of cancer. And so you want to make sure that we are repairing the gut. That's why I drink my water every morning with my L-glutamine in it and my lemon and my probiotic, because I am not sure if some restaurant that I go in, even though I'm very careful about A, the restaurants that I go to, and B, the things that I order off of those restaurant menus, I am still not sure because I didn't do it myself, and I want to protect my gut. So I am drinking my lemon water with my L-glutamine in it, and I'll put that link. That link is actually in the description box. I use that to make sure that I am keeping my gut repaired so that I am less likely to experience those allergens to foods. And so that is one thing that I noticed about that. Okay. Thank you. I will try. I thought canola was good. I know. If anytime you see an ingredient used a whole lot, know that it is cheap enough so that it is likely GMO, non-organic, or not real. Okay. Know that is when you look at I give you an assignment to go when you go to the grocery store. If your streets are not icy like ours, go to the grocery store and just look at the labels, and you'll see canola oil as the oil of most processed foods. It's canola oil for most processed foods. They'll also use soybean oil, which is also a GMO product. You will see cottonseed oil, which is another GMO product. So look for those. You'll notice it more and more when you go to the grocery store, and you'll go like, wow, I never noticed that. And so now you do. Any other questions? Yeah, somebody's going to do better. Absolutely going to do better. Me too. So guys, we are at the end of our day 16 Accelerated Healing Detox Bootcamp live. We are chewing, y'all. I am so glad. Salads. I'm eating my bowl. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, but I'm making my bowl. Because we are snowed in, or iced in, I should say. I ran out of mango when we were doing our mango smoothies. I used it all, and I just knew that I would just pop to the store and buy some more mango, and I didn't, because I want to do a green mango bowl. But today I have plenty of blueberries and organic blueberries and organic cherries. So if you are in our area and you didn't have a chance to go out and get some mango, you can use the same recipe and use your other frozen berries to make a bowl, but you want to put a whole lot less liquid in it because you want your bowl to be like ice cream. And you only want probably like a quarter of a teaspoon of water to put in it to get it to get your blender to just make it in such a form that it whips up like an ice cream. And so then you'll use that kind of ice cream consistency, and then put your granola in it and put on your fresh fruit. You can put on some raw nuts as well. And it is like so good. Even when even outside of this detox, I am doing a green mango bowl or an acai bowl or a pitaya bowl. I love to eat bowls because it's so filling, and the kind of work that I do, it'll make me satiated until lunchtime. And so I am always looking for ways to keep myself full, right? Sunflower oil and sapphire oil are better than canola oil. They're better than canola oil. But we're going to talk in a subsequent video about oils as well. And we'll give you some good tips on what to look for when you're getting those things. Somebody's still having a mango bowl. Good for you. I wish I had some mango to do that with. And that is delicious. I want to also, just before we cut out, is to ask you once again. We received some videos for our I'm building my faith, of course, but we didn't get it in the right order. And so some people wrote on that, because I probably misguided you the first time I said it. Some people said, of course I'm detoxing. That's why I'm suching. It should be I'm detoxing. Of course, So if your video did not say that in that order, will you do it one more time for us? If you did not have an opportunity to do it the first time, please submit a 10, 15 second video, 5-10 second, whatever video of you saying, I'm building my faith. If that's the one, I would love for you to do two of them. I'm building my faith, of course, or I'm detoxing, of course, I would love that. And can you get that to us today? And then we can, and at least by tomorrow, and we will make it into, and of course, video for social media, if you don't mind. If you would do that. If you are going to submit a video, would you just put it in the chat so we know to expect it from you? If you are going to do a video, would you just put it in the chat? I will. So I see one. I'll be happy to do a video. Good for you. Thank you for that. If you are willing to do a video for us, you can send that video to media@p2whealth.com. Again, media@p2whealth.com. Thank you for submitting a video. It is in the chat. It is clickable, and you can actually just use that to do it. I see another one that's going to do it. Can you please write the working in the chat box? Yes, perfect. Are you saying the working? Could you please write the working in the chat box? I'm not sure what that means. Are you mean the environmental working group? www.ewg.org, environmental working group. Thank you guys for submitting that video to media@p2whealth.com. Yes, thank you very much. So, guys, thank you so much. We are building our health one day at a time. You are here and I am here because we know that health is the new currency, and we are spending ours wisely. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for making health your priority, because it is the new currency. Let's continue to spend it wisely. See you tomorrow. Take care.